So how to replace a hub wheel bearing? We start off with the hydraulic cylinder. We put the tow bar in. The cylinder is actually already one side of the nut. So in order to protect the cylinder, we use the one with the threaded connection. And with hydraulics, we never fasten anything, so just like that. So this is actually for centering the universal puller inside the thread. And then we mount the puller on the house. Yes. And then we stick it through. Quick action clamping nut. This one secures tightly in place with the conical sleeve. The conical sleeve is centering on the inside. And then we put the nut in place. So once securely tightened, we need to make sure that the beaks are locked in place, and we can feel this if it's on the edge, and we tighten it and make sure it's securely in place. So this one is now completely fastened. Obviously it can turn because the wheel bearing can turn. And then we connect the hydraulic pump. I always use a hand pump because it gives you a sense of what you are doing. So plug it in safely, make sure it's secure tight, and never be in the extended room of the spindle. So taking the bearing out, after the initial blow, you have to consider that the entire bearing comes out as a whole, and you have to support it very firmly with your hand. And then when it's out, you take the whole piece and put it on the worktop. Always release tension on the pump first, then with quick action nut that's taking it out. Now pressing it back in, we will use the same bearing because otherwise it's just no use. We want to revert the power from the inner bearing, which is actually the hub, and we want to transfer that power to the outer race. So you do this with these discs. Taking it out takes force, putting it back in takes precision. So in order to transfer the power, we use the plates and these pressure bolts, who actually make the hub bearing unit one piece. The moment everything is in place, first hand tight, make sure all of them are correctly in place, and then just tighten them gently, not over tightening them, just a little bit for a little pre-tension. So then you have one unit, But what you also want, you want to support from the back side, and this is actually for the ABS sensor. So on the one side you have this pressure piece with the ring to center it from the front. And then you have to take this little ring out, which is the centering ring for the extraction. Once again, do not fasten anything. Like that. And we want centering. So this one actually goes in here, and then you'll have mind the gap for ABS so that you don't damage the sensor or need to dismantle it. So that's one side, and this is the other side. It will stay in place because of the centering, and then you put the hydraulic cylinder in place, and once again the quick action nut comes in handy. Just slide it over, and the final 4 or 5 turns you need to do manually. When everything's tightened and centered and securely in place, do a final check if everything is mounted correctly. And because of hydraulics, you will not have tension, friction. So, close the loophole. Once again, with a manual pump, you actually have a sense of what you're doing as the bearing is guiding itself into its opening. Once securely in place, release tension on the hydraulic cylinder, press it in, then you can get the quick action nut out quite easily. And take out the centering part and the support, and of course finally release. You have securely locked the ring in place and replaced the bearing as should be. Thank you very much.